Hey, you ready?
No!
Hey guys, it's Rachel here. So this week I'm back with my theater friend Libby.
Hi.
She's super into acting too, and so we thought, girl, we gotta do a video, finally.
It's about time.
So in today's video we're gonna be talking about tips for school play and musical auditions. We were super into our drama club and theater at our high schools. We did every show. We were just talking about this. We did every show throughout our high school
Never
career.
missed a one.
Never missed one. So in this video we just thought that we'd tell you guys some of our tips when you're trying to succeed in your drama club and get all of the roles that you can and really do your best at auditions. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So without further ado, let's just get started.
I want a compilation of all the faces I make choreographed.
Alright, so our first tip for you...
I was making a chin. One more second. Go on.
Okay, so our first tip for you guys is to give a little bit of variation when you're doing your script. You know, give the director something different than you think that everyone else will do. That'll make you stand out a lot. Especially with high school theater, variation is key.
A lot of times it's also your first audition or the first time the director may be seeing you, so it's good to step out of your comfort zone so they may remember your name for future auditions. But there's also a fine line between stepping out of your comfort zone and being over the top. So you want to make sure you stay in a fun little range of this is what I can do without making fun of the audition.
Stay professional, but definitely show the director what you can do. Okay, so our second tip for you guys. So our second tip for you guys is to dress professionally, but don't dress too over the top.
You don't necessarily need to show up in like a dress and heels, but look a little bit nicer than sweatpants or a hoodie and jeans, because it's nice to let the director know that you're taking it as seriously as they are. Let them know that you are dressing for success.
Yeah, kind of what you would wear to like an interview. A lot of people have gone to like an interview for something. You can also dress in something that you think the character might wear. I don't mean like go over the top, like if the role is like firefighter #1, don't wear like, you know, big firefighter suit or anything.
Period wig. It's just not necessary.
Definitely not. You can definitely do like your makeup a little bit differently if you want, or wear something like an accessory, like a necklace or something that you think your character might wear. Character development is so key, and that might help you get into the character a little bit more.
And it's also a good way to show the director that you've done some research on their show and that you care enough to look into what the role is before you showed up to their audition.
Alright, so going off of that, our third tip is to make sure you do your research on the show and the character. You know, make sure you're prepared, that you've done as much research as you can.
If the director offers sides for you to pick up beforehand or a copy of the script, always take advantage of that, because it's nice to know what you're going to be acting going into the audition and familiarize yourself with the range of the characters that you could potentially be playing.
That way your audition is at its best. You know, you're auditioning for the part that's best in your type and what is going to show off your performance the best.
And if the director believes that before you've even gone into their audition that you're already putting effort in, that they know that they'll be able to work with you and it won't be a tough situation if they cast you in their show.
It'll be so much more impressive if you go in with a lot of research done rather than a kid that, you know, signed up yesterday and just has nothing prepared. Trust me, they will notice and they will be impressed. Okay, so number 4 is to make sure that you take advantage of the sides, the audition materials that you get, and practice with friends. You know, a lot of the times I know that if I'm especially cramming for an audition, I always try to go straight into memorizing it, and I find myself not even actually saying it out loud, especially if I'm busy. You know, you don't really think about how your voice is gonna sound when you're performing it or how different it's gonna be when you actually say the lines, but it is so different, and that's why it's so important.
And the director doesn't want to see you go up on stage and pound lines like you memorized them out of a textbook. They want to see you get into character, and if you mess up a little bit and have to look at the paper, they're going to appreciate more you getting into character than knowing every single bit of the line.
So definitely take advantage of your other friends that are auditioning, or even your mom, anybody that is willing to like read the sides with you, just so you can get a feeling of how you want to read the lines. You know, don't drill that into your brain. You know, character development is key, not lines or a specific way to say the lines. Even just saying them will familiarize you with the character a little bit more, and
the director knows that this is probably one of, if not the first time that you're looking at these lines. They understand that you're not a memorized actor 6 weeks into a rehearsal
Right.
process. They just want to see what you can do, so show them what you can do.
Our fifth tip is to make sure that you don't prepare too much. Now what we mean by this is, preparing is key. You gotta be prepared, but there is a limit. You don't want to sit there and drill those lines into your brain until you can't think of anything else, because it'll make such a bad structure in your mind of exactly how you want to say the lines. But instead, when you get to the audition, the director might put, a random person in there to read the lines with you. And part of like developing a good scene and working with your partner is kind of improvising a bit when it comes to emotions and how you react. So if you have these lines exactly planned out and the character does something a little bit different out of your comfort zone, it'll just whack you out. So make sure that you don't have these lines like, whatever. Make sure you have room to like explore the character and make changes if the director tells you, because they probably will.
You don't want to go up there and sound like a broken record. You want to be able to be on your toes and work off of other people. And I know that's a really big thing that high school directors look for, because they understand that you're not professional equity actors. You're trying this for the first time. So they want to see how you work with other people, how you respond to other characters, and that's a big thing in seeing how high school level students can act.
Yeah, just don't stress it. You got it.
Let it flow.
Let it flow.
Go with the flow of the audition. Show
Right.
the director that you're there to try your best and hopefully be able to work with them in the future. So our sixth tip is keep in mind when you're going to an audition that the lead isn't the only role. Everybody wants to play the lead in a play, but it's okay to work your way up through the more supporting roles or the ensembles in a musical. It's a fun way to get used to acting on stage without necessarily having to throw yourself into some insane crazy role where you have a million lines to memorize.
Sometimes I even prefer a supporting role or even ensemble, because it's a lot less work, but it's also a lot of fun. And you get to explore a character that maybe you haven't played before, because a lot of leads are, the same type of thing in high school plays and stuff like that. So it's a good chance to explore different characters.
It's such a good learning experience to start in a smaller role and work your way up, because you learn how to work with that director, how to work off of other people, and you get into a rehearsal process. So maybe off the bat you will get that lead role, but it's okay to not always count on it. My first character, I died at the end of the first act and never reappeared, and it's my favorite character that I've ever played.
Right. My favorite character was Tammy in Hairspray, and I was hardly in that, but it was so fun. And ensemble is a lot of fun. I've been on ensemble so many times, and it's actually so much fun just to get to, go with the flow,
Right.
be the background,
To dance and have fun without necessarily having to drill lines.
I
and
mean, the
drill
lead is
songs.
great.
I mean,
We accept it any day of the week, but
it's okay to be excited about an ensemble role, and you definitely don't want to let a director know that you're disappointed, because getting cast at all is a big deal.
Okay, so our seventh tip, this is more geared towards musicals and stuff like that. If you have to sing a song for the audition, a lot of times they'll be sing 16 bars of a song from a specific genre of musical that this is in, whatever, yada yada yada, your favorite musical, something like that. Don't worry about singing a song from the musical. I have done this before, and I think that a lot of people do it because they think oh, it'll make them see that I can actually sing this song that I want to be for this character, But I would say focus more on finding a song that is in your range, that you can really sing to the best of your ability, show them what you got, because that's better than, risking it with a super high note that's out of your range and messing up or something like that. It's just much better to be comfortable with your audition material, so just don't worry, just sing a song that you're comfortable with.
And this can go for monologues too. If you're not auditioning for a musical, if you're auditioning for a play, you don't have to, take some big Shakespearean monologue unless it's required. You can take a monologue that's in your comfort range and make it your own, as opposed to trying to go into some crazy monologue that you're probably going to mess up anyway.
Just do what you're comfortable with. Do your best.
Make it your own.
Make it your own, yep. Okay, so number 8 is don't get too psyched out about the competition. A lot of times high school theater is super competitive. There's so many social aspects that go into high school, maybe even into your drama club. That's just kind of how it is. But you need to focus on the audition.
Focus on yourself. There's so many social things that go on in high school theater departments. We've all seen Glee. But
We've seen Glee.
Do
you like Glee?
I'm a fan. I never watched it religiously, but I'm a fan.
I love Glee.
I know that going into a high school theater department, especially where you're new or even where you're established, the social anxieties that come with high school in general can get in the way of the way you're performing, and it's never important enough to jeopardize your future in the theater department. Focus on yourself and not on what anyone else is doing.
You have every right to audition just as everyone else there does. You know, even if somebody's the president of the drama club, they might be a little bit intimidating or something. But honestly, you have every right. You're gonna do just as well. Don't even worry, you know. Focus on the audition and your performance rather than doing better than somebody else. Our 9th tip for you guys is to be prompt. Never be late to an audition. This goes for like any audition though.
Or anything in life, really. Show up at least 10 minutes in advance.
Yeah.
It gives you time to get in the zone, go over your lines one last time before you're in front of the director and suddenly you regret not running over them one more time.
And sometimes you might have to fill out like a sheet or something with your conflicts and, you know, your preferred roles and stuff like that. I always had to do that in high school auditions. So just make sure you get there early so that you can, you know, get all prepared and be able to go in there with a fresh mind and completely focused on the audition.
Unless, of course, high school students are busy. If you've talked to the director beforehand, you let them know about the conflict. That's key. Communication with your director is key. Even if you're new, contact your director. Tell them, hey, I've got class, I've got this, and they will work with you.
Yeah.
If it's an open call, they'll let you know when the best time to come is, but if it's a scheduled audition or callback, you want to make sure that you're letting them know and communicating with them, because just showing up late, no matter what your conflict, is going to look bad.
Yeah. And our final tip, number 10, is do not get discouraged.
Ever.
Ever, ever, ever. So say that you go to this audition, you know, you feel like you do great, you feel like you're definitely gonna get the lead role, but maybe you don't get the lead role and you're upset about it, or maybe you don't get in at all. Do not be discouraged. I have been there. You know, we all get roles that we maybe didn't want, or sometimes we don't get in the show at all, and that's okay. You know, you will have your chances in the future. Something you have to remember is that sometimes you don't get in a show simply because you're not right for the part. Sometimes I get so down on myself because I feel like I messed up and I could have done this and that better to get the part. But sometimes it's not even based on your performance in the audition. You know, it's not like, oh, Rachel did this bad, so she's cut, she's not getting in, she messed up, whatever. You know, sometimes it's really just based on who's right for the roles and who's right for the show. So do not take it personally. I cannot stress that enough. And there will be more chances. High schools do a lot of shows. You know, you said you did like 16.
16.
My school did 2 a year. You know, we did a play and a musical a year. So there's always going to be more chances throughout your high school career and the future. You know, we do theater in college right now. I didn't even really think about doing theater in college, but there's so many opportunities, you know, trust me.
And the thing that high schoolers tend to forget about, especially in your early freshman and sophomore year auditions, is crew is such an amazing opportunity. I was in high school for 4 years. I didn't get cast in a play until my junior year. I spent 2 full years of high school doing everything that I possibly could on crew because it just let me be involved. Set crew, costume crew, hair and makeup, technical design, box office, ushering. There's so many things that you can do to still be involved, and that's the way to get yourself known to a director and let them know that you're reliable, because they know that even if you're not cast in their show, you are going to be there putting in 110% to make their show and your show awesome.
So take every opportunity that you can to be a part of the show, even if you don't get your first choice of a role or, you know, whatever. Just take every opportunity, roll with it, and you never know what will come in the future. Alright, so that is all the tips that we have for you guys for school play and musical auditions. We hope you enjoy. I know we had a thing or two to share, so we were really excited to film this video for you guys, and it was fun. Did you enjoy being in Acting is Lit My Life video?
Did. Thank you so much for having me.
But yeah, so if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below, leaving any video requests for me. Let me know if you want to see Libby in any more videos. I know that you do, and make sure that you request what videos you want us to film together, because we will definitely do it. But yes, so leave us a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for weekly acting videos, sometimes random videos, but I got you on those acting videos. Yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Bye!
That's a wrap. Everyone can come out of their cages.